today I'm making a strawberry cake based on a recipe by Boone Bake, who I will link in my description down below. And you should absolutely check out the original recipe. And the first step in the recipe is to mix together the white chocolate and the cream. But there is a problem I've noticed at the start of their video, which is that their white chocolate just mysteriously melts into the mixture. So I'm going to have to go melt mine because I can't see how else you would do it. So once I've measured out 90 grams of this here, I will go put it over some boiling water and that chocolate. First thing we need to do is press this button here to turn it on. My weighing scales are still very cute and they say hello, but you can't really see it on the screen, but just trust me when I say that. So we're going to put this chocolate into the bowl. Here's one. I don't think you can make it out, but it says about 12 grams there. So I'm just going to put these in till we get to 90 grams. This chocolate is not breaking evenly, it's doing this. I've made a mess of this, oh my god. Perfect. I just realised how stupid I am. You're actually supposed to put a hot cream in the bowl. That's why the chocolate melted, oh my god. I was just being stupid. But anyway, let's pour in 90 grams of cream. I need to reset my scales. This is a very unusual way of measuring out cream, I will say, but it's just how it wants me to do it, so I shall. And remove there. Lovely. I'm going to mix this in, and mix this in carefully before the chocolate completely starts to just set, because it will, and I don't want that to happen. It needs to be mixed in properly. Alright, that's looking pretty good. The next ingredient on the list is 20 grams of sugar, and that's looking pretty nice. So I need to put this into the fridge. They did put condensed milk into their recipe, but I don't have any condensed milk, so I'm making do with what I have, honestly. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. So let's go put that in the fridge and we'll move on to the next step. I have some cherry brandy liqueur because in the recipe it says to use kirsch and we don't have kirsch, so we have this, so we're going to use this instead. And I also have the rest of the cream, which I'm going to put in. Need 280 grams of more double cream, so I'll put that in. And there we go, that's 280 grams, perfect. So I'm going to mix this up. It's beautiful, perfect. Okay, so I just need to quickly add in some of my cherry brandy liqueur, which obviously isn't kirsch, but I had to do what I could with what I had. Just need 5 millilitres of this. Perfect. And there we go. And I'll mix that in. This is going to turn it pink, so mine's going to be a little bit different to the video. It'll be okay. Okay, now I'm going to put it in the fridge. The next thing I need to do is add 3 eggs. So I'm going to put those in the bowl. Egg number 1. Egg number 2. And egg number 3. Now I'm going to go wash my hands and then take the egg bowl back through and then we'll go mix them up. Yep, that's looking nice. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is add 80 grams of sugar. And now I've got 80 grams, I'm going to mix it in. Lovely. I'm going to take away these weighing scales so the battery doesn't run out. And I'm going to put in some vanilla extract and some honey. You need about 3 millilitres of vanilla extract according to the recipe. I really like vanilla flavour, so I'm going to add in slightly more. But it's up to you, really. So I'm going to put in 5 millilitres. Alright, it's one of these bottles. I was confused. I'm going to put that in. I also need 18 grams of honey. I'm going to use my other spoon to help me get this off because honey sticks a lot. We need one more ingredient, which is a pinch of salt, and I'm going to use a salt grinder, which honestly probably seems quite strange, but it's just the easiest way for me to do it. Okay, so the next thing in the video said to add this on top of some hot water, which I've got inside this little cake tin that I filled up with water to make the eggs nice and foamy. Okay, so next I need to whip the eggs a lot. And this is a brand new whisk I've got. I've never used this before, so it might go a little bit wrong. We shall see. And I'm just going to have a go. Oh wow, look how much this has changed. I could never achieve this manually. I'm gonna keep going because it shouldn't look like this, but wow! Okay, I think we are about there with the consistency. So we now need to add in the milk. I put the milk in a little glass cup to warm it up because that was part of the recipe. So we have it here. I'm just going to pour that in. And then I shall take my manual whisk and have this whisked in gently. We also need 95 grams of flour. Now, the recipe says cake flour, but I don't really know what to do with that. I could have looked it up, but I didn't, so here we are. So I have self-raising flour, I'm just going to use that and hope for the best. Lovely, we now have our 95 grams. I'm just going to sieve this in. You sieve it in to make it nice and fine so that there's no little lumps in your cake batter. Now I'm going to mix that in and turn off my weighing scales to save battery. It's looking pretty well mixed. I've put my cake mixture with my butter in it as well into the cake tin, and I'm going to put this in the oven. Right, now we have our lovely strawberries, which I'm going to go on top of the cake, as well as my cream. Here is the lovely cake. It didn't get the same level of rise as the one in the video, but I'm just going to have to make do with what I have. So I'm going to slice the cake in half. You're meant to do it in 3, but it didn't rise enough, so that's not going to happen. I think it might have been a problem with my flour because they said cake flour in the recipe and I didn't convert that to whatever that's supposed to be in the UK. So we'll just make do with what we have. I'm going to do it on this chopping board because I couldn't really get it in on the cake tin. Just going to gently slice this across. And there we go, we have our 2 sides of our cake. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is whip my cream that I left overnight and see how that goes. So I've got my lovely cream here. It's already pretty thick, honestly, but this will be perfect. Okay, so I'm going to turn on my whisk and we're going to get to it. We're getting there, it's definitely getting thicker. We just got to go a little bit more. Okay, I think that looks lovely. It's nice and stiff and whipped and it'll be perfect for using on my cake. It's not too stiff because I don't want it to turn into butter. First thing I'm going to do is put on a layer of cream on the base. Then I'll get to work with my strawberries. Now I'm not going to follow the recipe exactly at this point onwards because they use a clear mould and I don't have one. I tried looking for one as well in the shops and I couldn't see one anywhere, so I don't know. Okay, I've got my spatula. I'm going to gently smooth this out and try and spread some around the sides of it. Okay, we've got some nice layer of cream on here and then I'm going to chop up and wash some strawberries which will go on top of it. These strawberries are a little bit old, so I've been cutting off some of the bits that started to go bad. So I've got my strawberries in my bowl now and I'm going to chop them up and have them ready to put in the cake. Now it's time to put my strawberries onto the cake. Now the original video said to put it in the mould as I discussed earlier, but I can't do that, so I'm just going to have to try and line them up myself without the help of a nice mechanism. I think it's something like this. This is just going to collapse, isn't it? I'm trying my best. Some of them have fallen, so I'm just going to pick these back off. And now somehow, my god, they're like dominoes. I need to put a bunch of cream in the middle. So we'll see what happens with that. Then I'm going to fill the middle of this with all the rest of the strawberries. Dollop some more cream on top. And then finally, I'm going to put the other cake on the top. And now I just need to cover this with cream. The final thing I need to do is put on my strawberries. Just going to put one here, put one here, and one here. Put this one in the middle, forgot about it. And there we have it, my finished cake.